and scroll. Talk and scroll. Talk and
Subscribe. Hey, what's going on? This is TNS Time and Space, and I would like to welcome you to episode 9 of Talk and Scroll. Got some catching up to do, so I got to do more than one today. But anyway, before we get started, I want to invite you to like, comment, and subscribe, and also make sure you hit that bell notification so you can be made aware of any time that I post new content. But anyway, now that the housekeeping is done, I had to chime in on this. Everyone's been talking about the slap heard round the world. Yes, that's right. Will Smith, Chris Rock, Jada Pinkett Smith. I just wanted to get my 2 cents in. Won't take long. I know we've all been talking about it. I'm not going to show the video. I'm sure that everyone has seen it by now. I wanted to look at this particular post, though, because this page is called Talk and Scroll, and I had saved this post because I wanted to examine it. You see, it's quite lengthy, so I'm not going to read the entire thing. However, what I will do is pause through different parts of it so that I can offer my take and my response to it. So this person says, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock for a tasteless joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Black women are the least protected and most disrespected in the world. Okay, first and foremost, let me just acknowledge that yes, Chris Rock has cracked jokes in the past. However, he's a comedian. One that I remember specifically was in 2016 when I guess Will and Jada, they had boycotted the Oscars, and Chris Rock alluded to the fact that, they weren't invited anyway, or basically saying that the show must go on. So I don't think that that was, too awful. And if he did make jokes, I mean, that's what comedians do. So I do believe that he could have done without the joke. However, I don't believe it warranted that reaction. As far as black women being the least protected and most disrespected, okay, you can argue that. I won't push back too hard on that notion. However, there's a time and a place to handle things. As far as this next phrase or this next sentence, Chris Rock needs to give Jada Pinkett Smith a public apology. I believe that they exchanged apologies. I'm not sure of the authenticity or not, but I believe that Will Smith did offer a public apology, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and read through this. It is necessary if we're going to set the record straight about the inappropriateness of disrespecting black women so casually. Chris Rock didn't press charges because at the end of the day, he knows he was dead wrong for the tasteless joke. So I want to talk about the joke because a lot of people have alluded to the fact that Jada Pinkett Smith has alopecia and that Chris Rock made a joke about that. I don't believe that his joke had anything to do with alopecia. It had everything to do with Jada Pinkett's appearance, being that she has a shaved head or a bald head. For whatever the reason, she has a shaved head and a bald head that is similar to what Demi Moore had in the original G.I. Jane movie. So Chris Rock made an observation, and having done comedy myself, comedians observe. They make observations. They might even make uncomfortable observations. Jada, I'll just say Jada. Jada has a shaved head. She does. Now, I'm certainly, empathetic towards how she may feel about her appearance. I mean, I was of the assumption, or I was of the belief that she owned it. I didn't know exactly why she had a shaved head, but I was under the assumption that she owned that and that she had no problem, having her show The Red Table Talk with her daughter and her mother, 3 beautiful women. I thought that it was all good, to be honest. So from the outside looking in, I'm not privy to any behind closed doors conversations. But it was my observation, at least from what I've seen publicly, that she was perfectly okay with her appearance. I've never seen her wear a wig or anything like that. It seemed like she is A-OK. She has no problems whatsoever with her appearance or wearing a shaved head. The same thing for her daughter. She has a shaved head. I don't know if she has alopecia also, but I just never saw an issue. So therefore, I would feel, as a comedian, I wouldn't think that it was extremely disrespectful. I also want to say that Chris Rock didn't say, well, your head looks like a milk dud, or it looks like a doorknob, or this and that and the third. He merely made an observation. So that's the first thing. So let's take a look further. It says it's not about what has been done previously by comedians or even Chris Rock's track record for pushing the envelope with certain types of jokes. It's about what shouldn't be done anymore. See, that's where I have to push back, because there is certainly an assault and an attack, or I'll even say an all-out war on comedy, because I don't believe that we should completely eradicate the humor of observation from the world. And we also shouldn't be so easily offended. Again, if I had known, or I think if Chris Rock had known that that was a dire, health situation or a dire sickness or illness, I don't believe that he would have made that joke. And if he had, that would be totally different if he had alluded to alopecia or cancer or some of those devastating illnesses that might cause one to lose their hair. So perhaps, Jada is more sensitive about her hair than we initially thought. However, when you're a public figure and you're in public displaying your shaved head in a way that seems to be with pride to me, I thought that she was proud of it, to be quite honest. So in that vein, if someone seems as though, or they're portraying that they're proud of it, you would naturally be inclined to crack a joke to say, wow, looking like G.I. Jane, I see you. And that wouldn't necessarily be seen as an insult, but I guess everyone perceives things differently. So as for whether or not Will Smith should have handled the situation that way, of course it should have been handled differently, but if you're from a certain generation, you know the rule. Where you show out at is where you get your ass whooped at. So it is what it is. So it's funny how on the one hand, this person says it's about what shouldn't be done anymore. Because if you want to talk about a certain generation, what about the generation of having thick skin and being able to take a joke, or even when you would see celebrity roasting, for example. Celebrity roasting is all about that. And that was pretty lighthearted by comparison. But I'm sure we've all seen celebrity roast where they talk about one another and they have some cruel jokes. You know what I mean? They'll have cruel jokes. Some have even, given the finger. Some people might have gotten upset, but no one ever resorted to violence. So I think on the one hand, if you're going to talk about, well, you shouldn't joke like that anymore, so you shouldn't have to worry about having thick skin. What about this, idea of a certain generation that, okay, where you show out is where you get your ass whooped? That doesn't mean that it's appropriate now, if we want to talk about the past versus the present. So now the next question is, will the Academy Award get their entire life, I'm not sure what that means, and be more inclusive of awarding black actors and actresses? Actually, it was quite inclusive. Even Questlove, a drummer from The Roots, he won an Oscar for his documentary, I believe, Summer of Soul. So I didn't watch the Oscars, but from what I've seen, it's become more diverse. I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm not saying that it can't continually evolve and improve, but I think it's been pretty diverse. So that's what I'd like to say to that. It says, it's cool to hire a record number of black people to entertain for the show, but true evolution will be having an award show that reflects the diversity of this country. And then this person goes on to say, congratulations to all winners from last night. It's a beautiful thing when your hard work is positively recognized. Well, see, that's the problem. Because of this incident, Will Smith, inadvertently or indirectly took away all of that shine. So all of those people, and Jim Carrey alluded to this, all of these people who worked their entire lives to have their shining moment, it was eclipsed. It was eclipsed by the actions of Will Smith, him slapping Chris Rock. That was all the rage. So no one even noticed when Samuel L. Jackson finally won an Oscar after a lifetime of excellence and achievement. No one even noticed that. That was an afterthought. So as far as defending his black queen, I would agree with that narrative more if Will Smith's reaction was what it initially was. If he was initially angry, then I would have understood it. I may not have agreed with him going up on stage and physically assaulting Chris Rock, but I would have understood it. However, he laughed at the joke. He laughed at the joke, and it was only when he saw that Jada had a problem that all of a sudden he had the energy to go up and slap Chris Rock as if he was offended. So essentially, if you look at it another way, Will Smith took on Jada's attitude. He basically conformed to what she wanted. It was essentially like she decided to sick Will Smith on Chris Rock. So that made him look extremely reactionary. I understand everyone's human. I'm not criticizing him in the sense of saying that he should be flawless. No one is flawless. I agree with what he said in his tweet that he's a work in progress. However, I hope that in being a work in progress, that he will work on whatever he's dealing with emotionally so that those outbursts aren't misdirected. Because honestly, a man should be able to tell, his wife, hey, I'll take care of it. I'll address it after the show. I won't ruin my own shining moment where he won an Oscar also. I won't ruin my shining moment. I won't take away from the energy and the mood and the achievements of everyone else. I won't make it about me, but I'll address the issue privately, and then maybe they can hash it out that way. That would have been way more appropriate. And honestly, because of his actions, he's a meme yet again. And there will be more jokes about Jada and G.I. Jane, where this would have been forgotten by now. But anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. I know everyone has, so that is the first and last time that I'll be addressing the Will Smith and Jada situation. This has been another episode of Talk and Scroll. Y'all take it easy.
Talk and Scroll. Talk and Scroll. Talk and Scroll.
Two,